It's time for Media Watch now. Emma James is with us in the studio. Hi there, Emma.
Hi there.
And you've been taking a look online to reactions to François Fillon's victory in last night's primary contest for the Conservative Party, the Republicans.
Yes, absolutely. And it does seem to be the cartoonists in particular who are having a great deal of fun with this one. Taking a look at this one from Alex, he's got Sarkozy eliminated in the primary, and you can see Alain Juppé and François Fillon delivering what appears to be a rather bruising kick to the backside there. Yes, absolutely. Another one's very similar here, Les Républicains, the symbol there with Alain Juppé and François Fillon triumphant on top, while Nicolas Sarkozy is kicked out of the side door.
It's a brutal game, politics.
Absolutely. This one is a nod to the fact that there were lots of allegations that left-wing voters would actually register to vote in the Conservative primary in order purely to block Nicolas Sarkozy from another term at the Élysée Palace. We don't know how many. I've seen figures bandied about of 15% of the voters were actually left-wing supporters.
Because 4 million people voted altogether.
Exactly. So we don't know exactly what impact that may or may not have had. This cartoon, however, has Nicolas Sarkozy red in the face, jumping up and down, saying it's the fault of the left, whereas this couple on the right-hand side say, no, we just prefer Fillon to represent our repugnant ideas. The gentleman's holding a sign saying abortion is murder, and the woman's holding the Manif pour tous sign, which is anti-gay marriage, anti-gay adoption, and the like. Elsewhere in lots of publications, people are looking at who is François Fillon, because he is something of an unknown man of politics, despite the fact he's really part of the establishment. He's been the Prime Minister, but he is sort of a quiet man of politics, if you like. The Guardian looks at the fact that we're now in this era of populism, but as is the case with the billionaire Donald Trump, François Fillon isn't really every man. They talk about the fact that this advocate for fiscal austerity lives in a 12th century chateau in western France.
Oh, lovely.
And likes driving classic sports cars at the nearby Le Mans racetrack. In fact, that is one of the few things that people seem to know about François Fillon, his love of fast cars.
Racing, yeah.
Exactly. He's appeared on France's Top Gear.
Yes.
And they've been retweeting that image today just to draw people attention. And lots of people are sharing the video of him on Top Gear, which probably gives you a more human idea of what the man is like. But he is quite an unflashy politician, and it has earned him the nickname Mr. Nobody. So a lot of people...
Sarkozy came up with that one.
Yes, a lot of people don't know what he stands for. Newsweek have tried to sex this up a little bit by saying that he's a tooled-out Frenchman who's got pulses racing across Europe. Not quite in the way that you might imagine. They say he's a rare beast in French politics, a big fan of Margaret Thatcher, wants to take on the trade unions, scrap the 35-hour working week, and cut more than 500,000 public sector jobs, none of which sounds particularly populist, especially when you take account of the fact that these cuts will essentially fund tax breaks for the private sector. So it's difficult to see how this is going to fit into this sort of new world order of populism that we have right now in politics.
And of course, riding this global wave of populism is, of course, Marine Le Pen. She was the first to congratulate Donald Trump. She is widely expected to make it to the first round of the presidential election. Is François Fillon the man to beat her?
This is the question on everybody's lips, and journalists are asking it too. In the New Statesman, they have this particular article asking, is François Fillon Marine Le Pen's dream opponent? Now, they go on to say that probably not. They said, but they point out that some commentators are nervous that if it is François Fillon who is up against her next year in that presidential election, rather than the more centrist Alain Juppé, then they are saying that he could lose as left-wingers will stay home. And that is one of the things that people are concerned about. This writer, though, says that unlike Nicolas Sarkozy, neither Juppé nor Fillon is loathed. They might not be liked a great deal, but they're not loathed. And they say that this so-called Republican front will come to the fore to stop the National Front. It's a historical alliance, basically, that stops gets non-extremist parties to stop those fringe parties from breaking through. However, you can't help but think of what happened with Donald Trump and the fact that so many journalists were terribly smug and said, no, it will never happen. Now, looking at this article from Le Figaro, they say that the far right is celebrating the outcome of this first primary, the win by François Fillon, saying that the party assumes it will pick up votes from what they call Sarkozy's orphans. A spokesperson said it's a right that is lost, bewildered, who wants neither Sarkozy nor Juppé, but gives itself a man so courageous he was incapable of standing up to Sarkozy when he was in power for 5 years alongside him.
Wow. A few months to go until the vote. We'll all be keeping a close eye on that. Emma, thank you very much indeed. Emma James there.